So we're headed into episode number 799. This is like heavy episode number 3 in a row. We heard Rat Bastard 2 weeks ago, and then Bethlehem was last week. And this week on the Pennsylvania Rock Show, we're going to feature Doc Rock from Metal Shop 101. With that said, we open things up with one of my favorite metal bands from the area, Skell, and their song Snowplow, which is going back to Shangri-La is the version I'm using, but I believe it was on their original album as well. Then we're going to play the Borstal Boys, Rock and Roll Freeway, and then we'll get back to being heavy again after that. You're tuned in on Music from the 412, buildthescene.com, xrpradio.co.uk, metalshop101.com, roodaroo.radio.com, megarockradio.net, and 107.1 FM KFGD out of St. Louis, Missouri. And let's get Doc on the screen. What's up, sir?
What's up? How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing well. I let Doc pick all the music. I don't usually do that. And next week I'm letting my kids pick 6 of the songs. Well, probably 4. Aiden won't end up picking any. But I'm going to ask him to.
There you go.
I'll give you a sneak peek. Emmeline already recorded her part, and she's playing 2 Neo-Stem songs.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
And I'm pretty sure that Bria will pick 2 Blackridge songs, but we'll see how it goes. And Aiden has told me multiple times, I have no idea. So tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about what you do.
About what I do?
Yeah.
And get your music heard. I mean, Metal Shop 101's been around about 26 years, actually. This year it's 26 years. And we started in a small bar in South Hills of Pittsburgh called the Rock-A-Bye Café back in, I want to say 98, 99, somewhere around there. And I was DJing there. I paid my dues, being a bar DJ, club DJ, whatever. And local bands started bringing CDs in. Here, play this, play this. So it just kept growing. And, we kept it to the point where it got to the point where it was like jam-packed on a Thursday night. And all these local bands would stop in after practice for a beer or whatever. And I said over the microphone one night, I'm like, we got to call this something. And they said, Metal Shop 101, it was like going to class. You got to hear what everybody else was doing. So I kept it. The bar has since closed. And I kept it and ran with it. And we stayed true to the independent artists, and just to get the music heard. And we go out to, I think it's like 60 or 70 plus stations around the world. And it has grown. I retired for a bit and
jump back on with Music from the 412.
Yeah, to jump back on with Music from the 412, and everything just exploded from there. And it's been a great ride. I mean, there's been a lot of great bands that have come through here over the years, and you can tell by the walls that they're just covered with memories, stuff that's been entombed into the walls of the metal shop. So, but we keep it true and try to get the music heard for the independent artists.
So same mantra as what I do on the Pennsylvania Rock Show.
Right, absolutely. I mean, you keep it rolling, I keep it rolling. Somebody's got to keep it rolling because we know FM stations don't. Well, some of them.
I was going to say there's a handful.
There's a handful.
This is where we insert the ad for WLER Butler. The rock station.
Yeah.
And the Grassroots show.
Grassroots. Yeah, that's a good show.
If anyone's not familiar with that, 977rocks.com, you can do some exploration of your own. All right, so you've interviewed lots of bands, both locals and nationals. Do some name dropping for me.
Do some name dropping. Oh man. Yep. I have interviewed John Oliva from Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Sabotage. I've interviewed Dizzy Reed of Guns N' Roses. I have interviewed Steven Adler, Guns N' Roses. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. There's been so many great artists on here. I mean, I just recently had Giles Laveri on from Germany. He is the singer of Dragon's Claw, Warlord, Jack Starr, Alcatraz, and that was a great interview. It's been a hell of a ride. I mean, there's been so many people. I mean, Powerman 5000 has been on in the past years. Dave Evans, the original lead singer of AC/DC, which I still stay in contact with to this day, and it's been a growing list, and it's been phenomenal. I never thought in a million years that this would go like it has. I thought it was just going to be a little bar show, but it didn't.
Well, along that vein, I thought I was doing one broadcast, and this is episode 799.
You know the feeling. But no, it's been great. And a couple of the bands that actually helped start this metal shop was one band, Templar, which is now known as Order of Nine. They were one of the first bands to bring me their CDs into the show. Jim Dofka, Wags Wagner, Hate, and many other bands. The list just goes on from back in the day.
Let's throw second here. I forgot where it is on the website. Song submissions. That's what I was looking for. All right, so we're going to pull this up. This is metalshop101.com. This is how you submit a song. Basically, you're emailing Doc, and he has a list of specs that he wants you to follow. But if you're interested in getting added not only to his flagship show, but to his fairly new radio station.
Yeah. Thanks to you.
You're welcome. Head to his website, click on song submissions. But there's a couple other cool things here. He has a merch booth. You can help support his show.
Sin City Photography. I mean, if you need photos of your band, I mean, you do photos too, Bill, but she's been in the scene for many, many years. Cindy Roach, she's a great photographer.
Speaking of the radio station, you can come here and listen to what's going on. Oh, look at that. Do you see what song's playing right now?
No.
Dark Secret.
Oh, man, maybe it's an omen.
So, if you can't read it, Doc has on a Dark Secret shirt, and I said to him, hey, do we have any pictures of us together? And he's like, yeah, there's one on the website. And he's wearing a Dark Secret shirt in the photo on the website too.
It wasn't planned. Dark Secret is out of Akron, Ohio. They're a great band. A lot of great bands coming out of Ohio.
Yeah, I know a few. What's that? Blackstone. I can't. There's a third word to the name. Matt Franny played drums on their recording. Three Vultures. Josie and the Corruption.
Yeah,
play them a lot.
Yeah.
And more. So while my show is called the Pennsylvania Rock Show, we do play bands from all over the place. We call them the get out of town bands.
Yeah.
If I could do a Yinzer accent, it would you would get the get out of town thing. All right. Anyway, we're gonna take our first break, and we'll be right back with Doc.
Okay.
Hey, Spill, we're headed into segment number 2 of episode 799 with Doc Rock of metalshop101.com. You just listened to 13 Occult and a brand new song that neither of us had listened to yet called Victim in a Movie Nightmare. That kind of tell you how much faith we have in 13 Occult. We're like, yeah, we'll just play it. They are definitely a unique band is a word I would use.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the first time I saw them was at that Zombie Fest, and I was kind of like sitting way in the back at a bar, and I kept hearing this music, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy don't even have a drum set up there. And here, come find out, it's two brothers that do that.
I didn't even realize they were brothers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're brothers, and you can find them at the Comic-Cons and everything. I mean, they are out there promoting all the time. So props up to them guys.
And then the second song we heard was 17 Lies by A Common Crown. I say that they're kind of the keystone to the little scene that I live in, because Matt and Steve are involved in a lot of, well, Matt plays in 3,000 bands, and then
yeah, you got to kind of do that nowadays.
All right, so I have two official questions that I ask on my show.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna ask you the Dave Grohl one. But we'll get to that other one momentarily. But my actual question for you two is, those questions just kind of stuck when I started asking them.
Right.
Are there questions that are go-tos for you when you do interviews?
Okay.
That aren't the normal questions. Do you have anything that you would ask?
Yeah, I always ask the artists about what their take is on AI coming into the scene nowadays, because I have had some bands try to pass off stuff saying it was them, and no, it was AI. I found out later on. So I always ask a band, what their take is on AI coming into the music scene. And another one I have that I always ask is, how has they seen the music scene change from back to what it used to be to now, with technology and everything else. And, with the take of a handful of bands, a lot of people just post a really cool flyer on Facebook or whatever. And, the thing is, and they wonder why only 10 people show up at the show. You got to get out there and you got to promote. I mean, you get take them flyers to the record stores, take them to the venues, put them in the windows.
I used to get real annoyed when I would see telephone poles covered in flyers that were old.
Right.
But I still think those flyers should be out there. I just think you should remove them when the show's over.
Right. Absolutely. I get it. But the thing is everybody, the problem is everybody relies on social media nowadays.
And the algorithm works against you. So not nearly as many people as you think are seeing it.
Right. I mean, you got to get out there. You got to promote. You got to, boots on the ground. I mean, when I first started this metal shop stuff, I would go to shows with like little handbills, passing them out. I'd walk up and down Carson Street. I'd put posters in record stores and, all that. I mean, there's still some good record stores out there, but it's like, you got to get out there. You got to promote. Don't rely on social media. It's not going to, I'm not going to say it's not going to do you any good, but when you post a really cool flyer, hey, I'm playing at this venue on this day. Okay. How many people see it?
I can't tell you how many times a flyer pops up on my timeline the day after, and I was I would have went to that.
Right, exactly. I get it, but these bands nowadays, and I give credit to the up and coming metal musicians and rock musicians because I think they're doing a great job keeping the music alive. But the thing is you got to get out there and promote it. You got to promote. Don't rely on social media. Don't rely on Spotify. Don't rely, just don't. Get your music heard. And, CDs are making a big comeback. Everybody wants CDs. Everybody wants a physical copy. Get your merch out there. Sell your merch. Sell your CDs. That's where you're going to make your money.
You sound like my intro.
I mean, it's true. Too many people rely on social media anymore. So
I should shout out Bay Allen right now because he's the one that makes the comments in the intro about how to support local bands.
Right.
Blues and gospel singer Bay Allen.
Oh, cool. Nothing wrong with that. We saw Rocky and I met him at the Western Pennsylvania Blues Society competition where they move on to go play in an international competition in Nashville, and right.
Very, very, very cool artist. He also looks like Bill Postal, who lives a couple miles from me, who's also a local artist.
Okay.
Bill Postal's a singer of Doppler Effect.
Yeah.
Who's an up and coming metal band that I should be checking out?
Up and coming metal band. There's quite a few of them actually. Thorns, the band Thorns out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Great bunch of kids. I think they're all under the age of 21, but they've kept it true to the old school, like the old school Metallica, Megadeth, stuff like that, the old school stuff, early stuff. They've kept it true, and they got some phenomenal tunes. They got Muzzle. They just released a brand new single called Head Case that's absolutely killer. And I mean, Truck Stop out of Virginia or West Virginia. Truck Stop's another great band. They've opened up many shows here in Pittsburgh for various artists, and they're one of the toughest, hardest working bands I know out there right now. They're everywhere, but there's so many great artists. I mean, you got Sarah Halter from Pittsburgh. She's phenomenal. That new song she just released, Agitation, killer tune. I mean, a lot of great bands out there, So but I would keep my eye on Thorns, Truck Stop. There's another upcoming band coming out of Atlanta, Georgia called Remember We Die. Phenomenal vocalist. She's just absolutely amazing. Awaiting Abigail is another one, that would play. So there's so many.
So do you have any Ace stories?
Ace Frehley stories? No,
Yeah.
I don't. The only Ace Frehley story I have is I saw him play at, it used to be the Icy Light Amphitheater. I forget what it changed over to, but I saw Ace play with Sacred Dominion when they were together down there. That's the only Ace story I have. I mean, it's sad because we lost Ozzy. Now we lost Ace. Now we lost the bass player from, what's his name? From, I can't remember. He just passed away yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it and I can't remember either.
Something Andrew from Limp Bizkit.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
I am very happy that I ended up seeing. I almost didn't go to that A show because nobody would go back in July, and then I finally found somebody. So thank you, Robbie Perone, for saying you'd go with me.
Yeah, I apologize for not being able to go. But yeah, I mean, that was a shock to us all, even Ozzy passing away. But
Ozzy sounded good in that last show, other than you could tell he was
absolutely.
His voice wasn't super strong, but he sounded good.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of it was emotion because he knew that this was the last big hurrah, But the thing is our superheroes aren't supposed to die. The people in the music industry that we looked up to, that, we listened to from when we were kids. But we saw it coming and we kind of knew it was coming. And it's unfortunate. So the next generation of metal or rock or whatever coming up, you guys have got to carry on the torch,
Hey, on that note, we're going to take our second break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
This time, we're going to listen to Homicide Black, Where My Demons Lie, and Chip and the Charge Ups, Paying Back the Devil. Welcome back to the Pennsylvania Rock Show, episode number 799. There's that photo I was talking about with Doc and I.
Got to support Dark Secret.
Say that again because they couldn't hear you.
I said, got to support Dark Secret.
All right, so we're into segment number 3 of 799. If you're not familiar with my guest today, it is Doc Rock of Metal Shop 101. And you can head to metalshop101.com and you can listen to past episodes, past interviews, and you can tune into his radio station, Metal Shop 101 Radio. That's probably the first time I've said that correctly ever.
Yeah, you're doing good.
So tell me a little bit about Brave Words.
BraveWords.com they are like the CNN of the music scene. They are absolutely fantastic to work with, and I got to give props to them guys over there because they just keep it coming. Brave Words Records, .com is, they put out bands. I mean, we got Bangalore Choir coming back with a new album. Alcatraz is getting ready to release a new album here on November 7th, and they are reworked songs called Prior Convictions. And they're reworked songs, but they got a new album, a whole brand new album coming out after the first of the year. Jack Starr, Out of the Darkness Part 2 is on that label. Paul Diano is on that label. His last album with Warhorse. And they are just a great bunch of people to listen to, to read their feeds and their stories. And, they're a continuous 24 hours a day. They don't stop. So Brave Words, good people.
Cool. For those of you not sure why I asked that question, Doc Rock's Metal Shop 101 is associated with Brave Words.
Yes.
So you also have put on a couple shows, or been the what's the word I'm looking for? The master of ceremonies.
Oh man, how did you find that out?
Or what do they call it in the parade? The grand, the in a parade when they basically they're celebrating somebody. What do they call them? The grand something. Anyway,
Grand Marshal.
That's it, Grand Marshal.
Yeah, back in the day, I've done a few shows. I don't do shows much anymore. So, but yeah, I've done. I used to put together shows at RPMs, which is now 31 Sports Bar, which is owned by Kenny Reggett from the Penguins.
He's the only Penguin from that Stanley Cup that I didn't meet. The only
really?
one. Yep.
Actually, I worked for Clear Channel years ago, and I worked with Kenny Reggett, and I don't know if he'd remember me, but he was a cool guy back then. He was always down to earth. So yeah, he got traded.
He got traded to the Penguins the week that I met them, and he wasn't there yet. But Tockett and Shell Samuelson were, so I did get to meet them.
Yeah, cool, very cool. But yeah, I've done MCing for a few shows, and one pretty cool story is my wife. I actually proposed to her at the Hard Rock Cafe right in the middle of Texas Hippie Coalition show. The guys in Texas Hippies, which are good friends of ours, they were in on it, and they stopped their show midway through the set and brought me up on stage and proposed to her there. I'm glad she said yes. I would have looked like a fool, but it was cool. I have sat on a roof of eyes and, had a sit down barbecue lunch or whatever you want to call it with Steven Adler from Adler's Appetite. And, the list just goes on and on. There's a lot of cool stories. People say I should write a book, but I don't.
See, you just reminded me I didn't ask you the pizza question by talking about food.
Pizza question.
Hey, best pizza you've had because you work with musicians.
I would have to say the best pizza. I'd have to say go with Fiore's. I'd have to go with Fiore's. The original Fiore's, not the chain one. The original Fiore's, because there's just something about the pepperoni that cups up and the grease and flavor.
See, you were prepared for this question.
Yeah.
For the record, next week I definitely asked Emmeline that question. I haven't recorded the other two parts yet, but I did ask Emmeline, and she did have an answer.
Oh wow! I'll have to make sure I watch.
So we have about 3 minutes left. What haven't I covered that you want to make sure gets out there?
Whatever you want, Bill. Fire away.
How about some of the names of bands that are on the wall back there off to your side?
Oh man, Shere Khan, Dofka, Cinderella, Hate, Chip Demonic, Truck Stop, Tortured Soul, John Oliva, Screamer. Took him 35 years to get on the wall. Order of Nine. There's just who else is on here? I just had Jack Starr's on there, Michael Duncan from Shattered Messiah, and he now plays with the Sabbath tribute band. Evan J. Thomas from Sound Fury magazine, I think it is. And let's see. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. It's just crazy. You know, I mean, Changing Times, Great White is on the wall. Who else? Some of my heroes, you know. Like so, I grew up around radio, so you know, some of my quote unquote mentors when I was little was like Mad Mike Metrovich. He had on WYEP, he had the Mad Mike's Oldie Oldie show. Of course, Porky Chedwick. You know, my dad would take me down to the studios in the middle of the night when they were doing their oldie shows, and that's where I kind of. And my dad was a jock back in the day too, so that's how I kind of fell into it.
So you have a wall of fame, and John Ballistic has a wall of fame, and yeah. I have a green screen.
We need to get you a wall of fame. I still have some of the original flyers from when Metal Shop started hanging on the walls here, and the original banner. You know, I hang it up there as a flag, as a tribute to all the bands that have come through here and helped me start this and everything else.
So those of you that don't know, Doc has an actual studio that he does his show out of.
Yep.
And I won't pull Rocky and give away the address. But
yeah, please.
But do tell them what the numbers are. You don't have to tell them street or location, but the numbers.
Well, Metal Shop 101 is at 666.
Yeah, for real.
Level. Hey, don't get any more metal than that.
So we're gonna nail this time again. We have like 10 seconds. So okay. The last two songs we're gonna play are "Fist Fight in the Parking Lot," "Horsemouth," and "The Chiefs For You." Make sure you head to metalshop101.com and you can give a listen to the radio station and past interviews. And don't forget to check out the Pennsylvania Rock Show weekly Monday nights. We do live interviews usually at 7. And then the radio show comes out at 10 p.m. on many radio stations, including metalshop101.com. Doc, thanks for hanging out with me.
Hey, thank you, Bill.
And I'll talk to you again soon, for sure.
Okay. See ya.
See ya. What's up, everyone? It's that time of the show where I'm going to spin the wheel, and we are going to find out who Drusky Entertainment is handing 2 tickets to this week. The tickets are for Black Flag with the Queers at Preserving Underground on November 8th. It is an all-ages event. Doors are at 6, shows at 7. You can head to preservingunderground.com and druskyentertainment.com for more information. I have Melissa Zunick, Andrew Carr, Ashley Himes, and Keith Laydig signed up for this week's giveaway. I'm going to add their names We'll go one more time. And then I'm going to hit shuffle once and twice. We're going to spin and find out who is winning those tickets to see Black Flag with the Queers. And the winner is Andrew Carr. Andrew, keep an eye on your email. You'll be receiving an email from me and then a follow-up email from Jusky Entertainment explaining how to get those tickets. And with that said, we're out of here for the evening.